And it literally like pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as
You guys played at Iowa. Were you there for that game?
Yeah.
Was that a preseason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played against Brazil. Ooh, we should go to Brazil.
Sophie Cunningham did not learn the lesson.
Stupid. Or is it?
Days after she was fined for criticizing referees on TikTok, she just got fined by the WNBA. Again, this time triple the amount. But instead of backing down, she turned those fines into pure cash. And what started as a $500 fine is now grabbing headlines and spotlight fast. Believe it or not, the league's penalty might have just helped her build $1 million brand.
I forgot that you existed. And I thought that it would
If you're riding with Sophie on this one, type "Free Sophie" in the comments below. It all started with one TikTok. On July 23rd, Sophie Cunningham posted a short clip that had WNBA fans cracking up and league officials fuming. In the video, she's lip-syncing to Sabrina Carpenter's Man-Child, with the caption, "At some refs." And at one point, the lyrics literally call someone useless. Yeah, you don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out who she was talking about. And while the internet loved it, the WNBA didn't find it so funny. They fined her $500 for public criticism of officiating. $500 for a TikTok.
stupid. Or is it slow? Maybe it's useless.
She didn't drop names or call anyone out directly, but apparently the referees were so offended, they hit her with a fine anyway. And Sophie just owned it, laughing, joking, and reposting memes about it. But here's where it gets even more ridiculous. Sophie goes on her new podcast, Show Me Something, just days later and brings up the fine. She jokes about the league's reaction and gives the refs a little more credit this time. She literally says, "Some of the refs are actually really good." And guess what the WNBA did? They fined her again. This time, it was not for criticizing the referees, but for talking about getting fined the first time. Let that sink in. Escalation. So now we're at fine number 2, and this one wasn't a couple of $100. The WNBA fined her $1,500 after the first episode of her podcast aired, and Sophie wasn't even mad. She was just stunned. I even said the refs have a hard job. I gave them credit. I said I'd be good at it. Look at the whole picture. But nope, didn't matter. They still came after her, and the way she found out, it was straight out of a mob movie.
They email our GM, and she pulls me aside and she goes, "Come here, Soph, I have to talk to you." And this was in like front of everybody. And I was like, "What did I do now?" And she just smiled and she goes, "Hey, they're gonna fine you again." They're like, I was like, I even told them, I even credited them that their job was hard.
Her GM pulls her aside in front of everybody and goes, "Hey, Sophie, come here. We need to talk." Sophie's like, "What did I do now?" And then she was slapped with a $1,500 fine for keeping it real on a podcast.
You got fined for episode 1?
Dude, they fined me $1,500. I'm like, what? I'm like, this is just the beginning. I was like, you're kidding. Oh.
Right after that, the internet totally exploded. Fans were already laughing at the first fine, but now they were outraged as well. Tweets poured in, TikToks and Reddit threads were everywhere. People were literally commenting, "I'll pay the fine myself. Just let Sophie keep talking." And memes about it started flying. Some fans even suggested launching a GoFundMe to pay her fines. One fan posted, "Fining Sophie just makes her more iconic." It's like the league is paying her to become a legend. And honestly, they might not be wrong. Monetizing the fines. Now, this is wild. The WNBA may have thought it was putting Sophie Cunningham in her place, but instead, they made her go viral. Her podcast, Show Me Something, was still brand new when the controversy hit. As soon as the fines made headlines, interest in the show peaked overnight. Clips from the episode hit TikTok, hit X, got shared on Instagram, and the numbers didn't lie. Even casual viewers are tuning in just to hear what she'd say next. Because while most WNBA players play it safe, Sophie was saying what everyone else was thinking without caring about the consequences. And it worked. As controversy swirled around her, Sophie's listener count shot up. Her clips were everywhere, shared across TikTok, YouTube, X, and Instagram. It didn't take long for brands to notice. She didn't even have to try to go viral. The league literally gifted her content. Every fine became a headline. Every headline turned into a podcast story. And every podcast drew more listeners, more fans, and more brand power. It's marketing 101, where outrage becomes reach, and reach becomes revenue. And Sophie just understood her assignment. She's turning penalties into platforms, and platforms into potential paychecks. Let's do some math here. $2,000 in fines, but 2 million views because of it? That's a trade any marketer would take. And while the WNBA keeps handing out fines, Sophie keeps cashing in. WNBA's image crisis. This entire situation reveals a larger problem inside the WNBA. The league often talks about unity, professionalism, and letting players express themselves. But when someone like Sophie speaks up, the response is swift and severe. Instead of fostering open dialogue, the WNBA is creating an environment where silence is safer than honesty, and fans are starting to see through it. When players are physically targeted on the court with no consequences but get fined for voicing opinions off it, something is clearly off.
Pick up her fourth here before halftime. Oh, look out. Something just came onto the floor. Got an object that just flew.
Players' safety is in question on the courts. Yes, this happened to Sophie lately during a WNBA game in LA. The online army has already taken notice. One fan summed it up perfectly by saying, "They silence players but let cheap shots go unpunished. Make it make sense." These are not isolated reactions. They reflect growing frustration from a fan base that's tired of watching its league punish personality while ignoring bigger issues. So Sophie Cunningham didn't create the controversy. She just reacted to it honestly, with her sense of humor. But rather than embracing her openness, the league responded with fines. And in doing so, it's exposed its dangerous double standard. At a time when the WNBA should be lifting up its players and encouraging transparency, it seems more concerned with managing optics than fixing real problems. Sophie didn't set out to challenge the league's identity, but now, whether they like it or not, she's forcing everyone to take a hard look at what the WNBA really stands for. The missed opportunity. Honestly, the WNBA had a chance to play this smart, but they dropped the opportunity. Sophie's TikTok was gold. It was quick, funny, and right on point. The kind of moment the league desperately needs more of. It had the league's name trending without any PR spend. And instead of rolling with it, they rolled out a penalty. It could have been their chance to show they can take a joke. But instead of reposting it, they fined her. And then, when she talked about it on her podcast, they hit her again with another fine, this time triple in amount. She literally made no hate comments or attacked anyone. But the league doesn't know how to handle authenticity.
And it literally pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league.
Other leagues would have turned this into a campaign instantly. The NBA would have clipped it, and the UFC would have slapped it on a promo. Because they know controversy brings clicks, but here, the moment got shut down before it could breathe. WNBA played defense on their own player for making the league interesting for 5 minutes, and for the matter of fact, she didn't make them look bad. They did that all by themselves. What comes next for Sophie? As a result, Sophie's podcast is gaining followers faster than most WNBA teams. Her clips are getting reposted and remixed. Even people who've never watched a Fever game are quoting her word for word. And whether she planned to or not, Sophie now has something most players don't. She has become a real influence.
Tonight, when your head hit the floor, everyone held their breath. You were laughing.
She can turn this moment into something bigger. A brand, a media lane, maybe even her own network one day. And the best part is that it doesn't rely on the league at all. She no longer needs to score 30 to be relevant. She just needs a mic. Because she's already proven one thing, that's when you stop asking for the league's approval. You start building something they can't control. So now, Sophie's not just part of the story. She is the story. A $500 fine turned her into a headline. And a $1,500 fine turned her into a brand. And the league just couldn't silence her. Instead, they launched her. Because she said what no one else would, and fans listened. Brands watched. Sure, you can fine her, but you can't fake her. She's loud, she's real, and she's not backing down. And in a league full of media-trained silence, that might be the most dangerous thing of all. So, if you're riding with Sophie, drop Team Sophie in the comments. Hit like, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications. Because if the league keeps playing games, Sophie's just getting warmed up.